I really never thought that I was going to see this day, but my friends, today is the day, and I am seeing it. The most hated mom in America wants you, and she wants to be your lawyer. Actually, Casey Anthony wants to be your legal advocate because she's not a member of the bar. But do not take it from me. Take it from Ms. Casey Anthony herself. Over the weekend, she posted her first ever TikTok video saying that she now plans to, quote, advocate for herself. And in a jaw-dropping moment, she also says she plans to advocate for Kaylee, as in Kaylee Anthony, as in the daughter she was accused of murdering. She said a whole lot more than all of that. I'm going to play everything that she said in just a moment. But Casey has also set up an online newsletter. Oh, thanks. And she's created an email address for anybody who wants her, quote, professional advice. In her video, she explains that she's been, quote, in the legal field, end quote, since 2011. And that, I remember 2011 because that was the year she was acquitted. Need I remind you, of first-degree murder of that little 2-year-old toddler of hers. And here's the part that I'm struggling with, among other things. She shot her selfie video in her car, and right off the top, sweating. She said that she was so hot she was going to, quote, sweat to death. I know. I had the same reaction, and a lot of viewers did too. And in fact, a lot of viewers had the reaction, is this a cruel joke? And that's a quote. The prosecutors believe that Casey drove around for days in the Florida heat with Kaylee's body decomposing in the trunk back in June of '08. When police searched that trunk later on, they found a strand of Kaylee's hair, as well as maggots and the smell of death. The video is over 3 minutes long, but it is fascinating to watch, especially her demeanor and how much she's changed in the last 14 years. I want you to see if you can detect any anger or any resentment.
I sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur. And when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included. So as a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light, embracing this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact. So you will get very comfortable with my car. And I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures, it's even more important to private individuals. And with the current climate in our country especially, it's that much more important, which is why I am utilizing the Substack platform. Yes, I am advertising this and publishing this on TikTok, possibly also through other meta platforms, but my intention is to separate from that and showcase even more why Substack is such an important resource for people to utilize moving forward. Anyway, I appreciate your time, and we'll see how this goes.
Casey Anthony has more than 44,000 followers on TikTok. And that video that you just saw, that's got more than 18,000 likes and climbing. The newsletter that I mentioned, that's not free. That thing's on Substack, and it costs $10 a month or $100 a year. And so far, about 700 people have subscribed. That's a lot of math. That's a lot of dollars every month for Casey Anthony. I'm joined now by someone who knows a lot about Casey Anthony's experience in the legal field and actually had a front row seat for much of it. Brad Conway is an attorney, an actual attorney, who represented Casey's parents, George and Cindy Anthony. Brad, my gosh, it's been a long time. It's really good to see you again. I hope you're doing well.
It sure has, Ashleigh. It's always great to be here with you.
Let me just start with your reaction to this. I mean, jaw dropper, the video, the promises, the legal advocate, all of it.
Well, it is, but Casey Anthony, you know, she's the perpetual victim, but she's always out there, you know, pitching her own story, her own sad story, and here she is talking about being thrust into this again and using it to better other people. It's just a bunch of BS, and it's Casey Anthony's bid to remain relevant. She's always got a little hook. She disappears for a little while, but then she always shows up again, and this one is all about money.
Well, on that last note, money, I will say that she has not had it easy for the last decade plus, right? I mean, it's Casey Anthony. It's kind of hard to get a job. So I think she has struggled as a photographer, as a private investigator, as an assistant. And so this may be her effort at maybe thinking there's a new generation of folks out there who may not have that same feeling. She may not have that stigma with them. If that's the case, is there any truth or is there any value to the fact that she thinks she can be a legal advocate?
I don't believe so, Ashleigh. You know, for 30 years, I've been a criminal defense lawyer, and I have been a victim advocate for people, victims of violent crimes. There was George and Cindy Anthony that I represented, and then most recently, the Brittany Drexel case that was recently solved, a 17-year-old girl that was abducted, raped, and murdered in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So, you know, to jump in and to be a legal advocate for somebody, first of all, it's not a paying job usually, and it requires knowledge, it requires experience, it requires ethics, and it requires morals. Casey Anthony has none of these things, and nobody wants legal advice from somebody who can only offer them advice on how to hide a body and make up ridiculous lies about how it got there.
Do you think there may be any other motivation other than money, like, say, attention? Because she's really been avoiding attention since 2011.
I think attention is always a motivation of hers. It's a passive aggressive approach to it, though. It's poor me. I don't want the attention, and she has done a good job of laying low, but she surfaces for her own purposes, and this purpose is about money. It's about money and nothing else. Because who is going to hire her for legal advice? She's not a lawyer, so she can't give legal advice. So her role as an advocate. You know, you don't have to be a lawyer to be an advocate, but who wants Casey Anthony advocating for you? You know, what does she have to offer you in terms of actual credible legal advice? And then who's going to take her seriously?
So she made a comment that really stood out to me, and let me just read it. It was about her parents, George and Cindy. She says, my parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This isn't about them. This is not in response to anything they've said or done. But then she goes on to suggest, I will deal with that soon, as if to say, I've got words to say in reaction to things George and Cindy have said. What did you take that to mean, given the fact that you were George and Cindy's lawyer?
And this is why I say that this is about money. She talks about wanting to be a legal advocate, about using her infamy, to help others. Poor Casey, rising above the ashes to help other people. But that's not at all what's it about, because there she is talking about George and Cindy and Kaylee. And that's the hook for people. People want to know what really happened to Kaylee Anthony, and they want to know. She blamed her father, criminally implicated him in the death of her daughter. And so she says it's not about them, but she makes sure to let you know that she might address it anyway. And that's what brings people in, because that's what they want to know.
It really feels as though the rift is absolutely irrevocable between George and Casey, but maybe not Cindy and Casey, which is why everything is so uncomfortable. I feel for George and Cindy. I think they were just tread under that bus over and over again in that courtroom. And I sat there in that courtroom with you watching this every day. It was heartbreaking and preposterous, the story that she presented. But she said in this video, I'm here to advocate for Kaylee. It was the first time I had heard her say Kaylee's name and my daughter Kaylee, probably since 2011.
Well, what would she advocate on behalf of Kaylee for? Casey Anthony is the only person in this world that knows what really happened to her own daughter, Kaylee. George doesn't know, but that's who Casey blamed. So how is she going to advocate for the daughter that really she's the one that disposed of Kaylee as though she were a pile of trash? So how is she going to advocate? What does she have to offer? Nothing other than the truth, which we know Casey Anthony is not capable of telling the truth.
That we know. That is undeniable. I mean, living through her lies, I needed therapy. Just the exquisite amount of lying that this woman was capable of, the people she was capable of sinking. It was just traumatic. So one other weird tangent here. She said she's doing this to fight Trump because she has a rainbow tattoo, and she says she's advocating as well on behalf of LGBTQ community. But going up against Donald Trump and saying, I'm going to fight Trump, she's going to use her influence to resist. Where do you think that's going to go?
That's a really good question, because, hiring Casey Anthony to give you legal advice or be your legal advocate is like punching a hole in your boat to get a better breeze. And the only thing that the Trump administration has done at this point is prohibit transsexual men, biological men, from competing against women. So what is it that she actually thinks she has to offer the LGBTQ community? There are hordes, leagues of lawyers and wonderful advocates out there to help this community. Casey Anthony is not one of them. They don't need her.
They may not want her as well. But, Brad, this has been, we waited way too long. You and I need to not, be apart for this many years. I'm so glad to see you again. You look terrific. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Ashleigh. Good seeing you.
See you again soon, I hope.